So my story is about Wonderland, a DeFi Wonderland, which provides, quote, financial tools to grow your wealth through staking and compounding interest. And what Wonderland is the most popular Olympus DAO or Ohm fork that issues a token called Time. And a quick look at their website shows that they're offering 83,000% interest if you stake your Time tokens. And if that sounds too good to be true, that's because it sort of is. The short idea of this is that the token itself is intentionally inflationary and then continually rebased with old users being paid by new entrants, which sounds like an incredibly exciting game of chicken played with an open Ponzi scheme, right? They're not hiding, right? They're saying that this is how this works. Anyway, it turns out that one of the three founders or developers that is known as Sifu, I don't know, I've only read his name, I haven't heard it spoken, was outed as the co-founder of QuadrigaCX. His name is Michael Patron. Zach XBT unmasked him this morning, and what followed the news here is that Sifu had pled guilty to credit and bank fraud, theft, and he lost access to 115 million of customer funds. And Quadriga itself was a large crypto exchange in Canada that eventually was deemed a Ponzi scheme by the Ontario securities regulator. And where it gets worse specifically for Wonderland is that Daniele, who is another founder of Wonderland and really the face of the operation, said that he knew about this and he still trusted him and said that everyone deserves a second chance, which to a certain degree I agree with. But when people's money gets involved, it's probably time to take a sharper view on second chances. So I don't know who wants to go from there. Jen wants to go, so I want to see what you have to say.
I have two things to say.
I just want to applaud you. That was good.
That was really good.
I wrote that one down. Don't give me too much credit.
I was at the North American Bitcoin conference last week, and an acquaintance of mine, told me that he put like 10 grand in Time. And when I read the story, I was like, oh no. Oh well. So anyways, George, you said everyone deserves a second chance, right? But I think he's had a few chances, right? 2005, he pled guilty to credit and bank fraud. 2007, he admitted to burglary, theft, and computer fraud. And in 2019, he lost access to $115 million. So I know you said that in the intro, but that's a lot of chances. That's more than two. And so it's a little shifty. That's all I have to say about it. But Zach, I saw your hand go up.
Man, crypto is never not entertaining, and this is the story that we need in these trying times. To see QuadrigaCX back in the headlines, it's a wonderful thing. QuadrigaCX, for all the Canadians out there, I'm so sorry. It's a terrible story of many lost funds, but it was like a Hollywood movie waiting to happen. And I think there's been a subsequent podcast series that's been produced. There's been some great long-form articles that have emerged from this, in which the founder, Gerald Cotton, mysteriously died while traveling in India. And there was this ensuing saga over finding ways to access these funds that had either been fraudulently moved or locked under the control of this now deceased founder. And it became this drawn-out saga that is still unfolding in the courts in the Canadian system, to my knowledge. And to see that sort of the ghost of Quadriga haunt this new era of crypto, this new DeFi 2.0, Ponzi-nomics, this thing that everyone's buzzing about, to see that name pop up in the context of this time and place, wow, it was truly special to see this unfold on Twitter over the last 24 hours or so. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. And we got some follow-up reporting coming out soon on this story, looking at some of the response that this team is undertaking. But yeah, interesting work. Good sleuthing by Zach XBT, who is sort of making a name for himself and outing some of the shadier players in the space. And this is a big one by him. So shout out to that reporting. Interesting to see this unfold. But yeah, I'll toss it straight to you, Will.
Don't have much more to add from what you said. My only thoughts on this is Ohm continues to be like this very, very decisive project in the space where there's a bunch of forks of it. We've seen the token crash. We've seen Olympus DAO have issues. And now we're seeing this whole kind of story play out with QuadrigaCX, which again, I never thought I'd see that in the headlines. Like I thought that was an old story, but somehow that story keeps coming back from the grave. It's interesting how that...
Ooh.
Okay,
Did you
that
do
was
that
a nice
on
pun.
purpose, Will?
Didn't intend it though. What?
Did you
Sorry?
do that? Dang, that was an amazing pun. That was an amazing pun.
That was good.
I didn't pause for dramatic effect. I just kind of lost my train of thought there.
Yes, you did. Don't
Just
lie.
my last thought. No. Seriously. Just last thought on it. It is interesting to see QuadrigaCX come back to it. And I'm wondering what next steps is for this guy. Like, where is he going to go? Is he going to go anonymous again? Because he's been outed, but there's no legalese around it, right? He still is his own person. He can go work on another project if he wants, become anonymous. There's so many projects out there. And if he hoodwinked his way into this project and even the founder let him work with them, why can't he go do it somewhere else? It's interesting how scammers always find a way to get back into another project and they keep playing around. But Zach, give it to you.
He's changed.
That is just the interesting tension of pseudonymity and online privacy. There's a lot to be said for it, but it also masks some questionable actions by certain parties. So interesting to see this unfold in the DeFi space that is proudly pseudonymous by design.